1-0 Dallas after one period of play, and tonight's game is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. And Razor, the fortunes of the Stars have changed here.
Well, they have. They needed to continue. You know that the Wings probably got themselves a bit of a tongue lashing. And remember, they were outshot by the Leafs 13-6 in the first period, and it was 1-0 Toronto. Last game, it ended up 8-1 Detroit.
That was the first time all year the Red Wings have come back to win a game when trailing after one. Now the Stars bring it ahead. Here's Langenbrunner with some room. He's in, left circle, a shot, pad save, Osgood, rebound, cleared, and hauled out to center ice. Kozlov drops it to Larionov. Kozlov taken down, and a penalty coming up against the Dallas Stars.
Well, it looks like tonight Fawcett's looking for that kind of thing, and that's when you stop skating and you start interfering or tripping. I'm sure this one's going to be a trip right at the blue line as both Larionov and Kozlov are coming across, and down they went. A little room in the neutral zone. Hatcher had his man locked up right in the neutral zone, and then as they brought it in over the line, down went Kozlov. It didn't look like he was tripped. It looked like he fell down. Sometimes that blue line can be high. Hatcher's off at any rate. And the Wings go on their second power play. Big Darian's been racking up some penalty minutes lately. Not the last two games, but the two games before that, certainly against Buffalo and Edmonton. 35 of his 75 penalty minutes have come in the last 4 games. So he'll add 2 to that here now.
Tripping to Darian, 32 seconds into the period. Stars with a 1-0 lead. Detroit on their second power play of the game. It would then follow that they are 0 for 1. Here comes Yzerman attacking at the Dallas line, putting it down the left wing side. Matvichuk getting to the puck, clearing it around behind. Lapointe keeping it in to Lidstrom at the right point. Now to Yzerman in the high slot. Tried to get it to Lidstrom, and that one's blocked by Carbonneau.
He did that the other night and scored a goal. He did it 3 times in a row, and it was the 3rd time when he picked the pocket of Big Dave Babbage that he scored his first goal of the season on.
Now Carbonneau goes to the bench, and Gilchrist up with it for the Wings. Ran into Lettman at center, gives it to Yzerman. A walk in left side, flip it behind the Dallas goal. Matvichuk can't clear, but then he hits Lapointe. It's cleared to the far side. Yzerman to Gilchrist to Lapointe in the near corner. Up the near boards. It's picked off by Matvichuk, now held in by Lidstrom. Bounced away from Gilchrist. Cleared off Yzerman and down by Chambers.
Kind of been a combination of things. The Stars have been really hungry on the puck and quick on the puck to get on it whenever the Wings have bobbled it. And the Wings have bobbled it a lot. They haven't been as smooth as I've seen them in past on the power play.
Here's Kozlov ripping it in. Winds around to Belfour's left. Along the near boards. It's cleared again by the Stars. Here's Reed taking it to center. Kozlov took it away. Gives it to Larry Murphy. Now to Brown. Left wing pass. Zubov picked it off. Wings slam it right back in, but icing if the Stars can get there, and they do. As that puck was shot from their own side of the red center line. And a faceoff will come back in the Detroit zone with 28 ticks left in Darian Hatcher's minor penalty.
Well, the penalty killing seems to have picked up where it left off the other night, and Guy Carbonneau's been a big part of it all season long. How about the numbers for guys like Carbonneau and Lettinen and Ludwig as far as the number of times they've been on the ice when a power play goal has been scored against the Stars? He's been on for only 6 of the 21, Carbonneau. And Ludwig 7 of the 21, so they've done their job when they've been out there. Lettinen's been in that realm as well. Very good, very intelligent, very hard-working penalty-killing unit that the Stars have, even without Mike Modano.
Stars lead it 1-0 here. 17:55 remaining in the second period. Red Wings with 23 seconds left of power play time with which to work here to try and tie the score. Kozlov advancing the puck, but ran into Lettinen at the Dallas line. Larionov carries it in, throws it around behind the goal. Kozlov on the right wing side, back out to Murphy. A shot tipped by Ludwig up into the air and then batted behind the goal into the near corner. Kozlov picking it up there. Out to the high slot, Eriksson plays it into the corner. Now it's tapped to McCarty. Hatcher is on. Stars are full strength, and Kozlov scores. Kozlov set up in front of the Dallas goal and took a pass. One-armed it past Ed Belfour, and the Wings are on the board. It's 1-1.
Doesn't it always seem like it's Kozlov who gets it started for the Wings? He did that in the 3-1 win, the first game of the year in this building. Right in the corner, Zubov lost sight of him for a second as they brought it back to the front of the net. And then in behind him, he didn't realize as he made a decision on somebody else that Kozlov was wide open off the far side, and he just lurked. And then he just chipped. He was right in front. Belfour didn't know he was there. That's what he does very well, an intelligent play to get lost and then get in the right position to get somebody to get the puck to him. A lot of gets in there, and he got himself a goal.
He got himself his 12th of the season. McCarty will get an assist. For Kozlov, 2 of his goals, 9 of his points on the power play. He now has 26 points. And another penalty coming up against the Stars that was not a power play goal, but it may well have been because Hatcher wasn't yet back into the play, and now the Wings are going to get another chance.
Well, you know what? Not just because Hatcher wasn't allowed to get in the play, but a lot of times what happens is there's some confusion because the guy coming out of the penalty box sometimes has to play a different position, and they ended up with a lot of defensemen out there and not as many forwards, and then somebody gets wide open. Verbeek is the man in the box now. Another hook, and Maltby making it look Swan Lake-like in the neutral zone, and that's why he had the Maple Leafs up in arms against him in the last 2 games. Verbeek wasn't happy about this. Not the start to the second period you want when you have a 1-0 lead and the game in control, and that's to put yourself down a man 2 times in a row.
High sticking against Pat Verbeek, 2:48, the time of the call. And the Wings now can parlay what was a 1-0 deficit against a very stingy team into a 2-1 lead within about a minute of each other.
Well, that's the whole thing, and they warned themselves about that before the game, the Stars did, that they don't need very many chances to score goals. It seems like the Stars need boatloads of them to get just a couple.
Face off in the Dallas zone. Matvichuk trip, no call there. Hatcher trying to get it out. He does. Reed's got it shorthanded. 1-on-2 at the Red Wing line. Now gets some help as Hatcher charges up. Can't find the puck as it's off Shanahan's stick behind the Detroit goal. Carbonneau wrestling back of the net. He's spun down. Shanahan will pick it up and escape. Here come the Wings. Gilchrist to Lapointe to reach behind himself to get it. Matvichuk goes crashing over the top of him. Those 2 push. Wings are on a power play, but looking at Lapointe, you wouldn't think so. Here's Lidstrom dealing it down, and they say the puck came outside the line, and thus offside against the Red Wings. What was Lapointe doing back behind the play on the power play?
Well, it all started with that hook off the face-off when Lapointe hooked down Matvichuk, and then Matvichuk had an open lane to him right at neutral ice and planted him against the boards, and then they had words. And he hit him hard, right along the boards. As he was dumping it in, he got avalanched by Matvichuk, and he took exception to that. They had words, and then they separated. It pulled Matvichuk out of the play a little bit, but it also pulled Lapointe. So it was one guy for one guy, and the faceoff now comes outside the Stars' blue line.
Brent Gilchrist, the former Star, to work the draw. Gilchrist had the game-winning goal here on November 21st in the 4-2 win the Wings posted over the Dallas Stars. That was the 2nd time they met this year. On October 8th, Fetisov, who's not in the game tonight, had the game winner in a 3-1 Red Wing victory. This is the 3rd meeting of 6 scheduled. The next 3 and last 3 of the year will be played at Reunion Arena. Now at center ice, Shanahan has the stick swatted out of his hands by Hatcher. Loose puck picked up by Lettinen along the near boards. Gilchrist battling to get it ahead. Airy with a steal, and he'll punch it in deep. 50 seconds remaining in Verbeek's minor penalty. Osgood leading a pass ahead to Yzerman. Shifting it forward to Kozlov. In he comes to the Dallas zone. Feeds left to McCarty in the circle. Dropping it back out. Yzerman races over to cover at the left point. Now he'll bounce it behind the Dallas goal. Chambers getting there. Clearing, not out. Lidstrom holding it in at the point. And Carbonneau finally able to pitch it out to the Red Wing line.
Guy Carbonneau. Ken Hitchcock calls him a defensive Wayne Gretzky.
Now he's going to get a breakaway. Short-handed. He's in. A shot. Save Osgood.
They needed the offensive Wayne Gretzky right there. But I think it's well earned. And it's a good tag for Guy Carbonneau because, like Gretzky, he seems to know what other players are going to do. And that's what Gretzky does. He knows their tendencies, he knows their weaknesses, and he exploits them. And when players are along the boards, he reads it. He knew that the defenseman on that last play was going to go to the boards with it. He laid his stick there. Then he just reads again, finds a hole, the turnover, and away he goes on a partial breakaway with just fumes in the gas tank, and then dribbled one in to the belly of Osgood. Another good penalty kill and a little giggle. It's funny now when you don't score on your chances after you have a goal. Not so funny the last couple of months.
Carbonneau scored his first goal of the season, first since March 31st last year on Saturday night, if my nights are correct, against the Vancouver Canucks. All this holiday stuff. Do you ever know what day it is really?
No, I've had no clue.
No.
It's either a game day, an off day, or Christmas day.
Or a travel day.
Yeah. Or Boxing Day.
Yeah, when's that?
Because
Well,
we're right across the river. It's the day after Christmas.
just the other day.
You never listen.
Well, I know it's the day after Christmas, but what day of the week was it?
The day after Christmas.
All right. Now the Wings have 15 seconds left on the power play. Murphy will get it ahead. Eriksson fires it in. Belfour is able to lurch to his left and then pick it up off his pad. 9 seconds remain in the minor to Verbeek.
Well, we talk a lot about, and people talk a lot about Lidstrom, but how about the other young Swede that they have on their blue line here in Detroit? Anders Eriksson, who basically ate himself out of the league last season and then hired a personal trainer and really recommitted himself. He and Lidstrom have 6 goals between the two of them in the last 5 games. He has 3 in the last 4, and Lidstrom's chipped in as well. So 2 fine young Swedish defensemen.
Eriksson is also raised a +16. That is second to Murphy's +19.
It leads all the rookies in the NHL right now. Best rookie plus-minus in the league.
Verbeek is out of the box. Wings are 0 for 3 on the power play, and now they are guilty of icing as Ludwig goes back to touch up for the Stars. 1-1 the score early in the second on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
1-1 here at the Joe. Quick look at first period statistics. The Stars out shooting the Red Wings 15-6, but maybe more importantly, out chancing them 7-3. And only 1 goal to show for the 7 good scoring chances that they had in the first period. So the ongoing problem is getting pucks in when they get the chances.
Airy in the first for the Stars, Kozlov in the second for the Wings. It's 1-1. Now here's Daryl Sador for Dallas in the right wing corner. Checked by Rouse. Langenbrunner back at the goal, trying to spin away. Centering to Lettinen. Has to find it out of a crowd. Langenbrunner reaching for it. Gilchrist trying to clear, and now it is pushed ahead to Kocur, and back come the Wings. Maltby cutting to his left at the Dallas line. Watched by Zubov, threw it across the slot. Belfour poked it away. Kocur working against Matvichuk. Sador relieving both players of the puck and feeding it ahead to Zubov. Zubov had to stop as it was poked away from him. Now it's center ice. Sador gives it to Lettinen into the Detroit zone. Slap shot. Caught Osgood going one way and nearly put it in the other side.
That was a good quick snapshot that went off the outside of the net. The Langenbrunner line is seeing Lidstrom and Rouse on defense almost every time on the ice.
Now the Stars will pick it up in their own zone. Juha Lind right into Harvey's skates. He'll carry it in left wing side. Centering. Lind was just behind the play. Carbonneau in after it, swatting it along the far boards. Red Wings pick it up. McCarty trying to clear it. Kozlov will go back behind his goal. 13:45 to play in the second period. Detroit spilling it to center. Harvey gunning it right back in. Hard kick off those end boards. Rouse knew how to play it, and the Wings will clear. Carbonneau will send it right back in. Jamie Pusher took a hit, gets it to Larionov. Now to McCarty at center. Tapping it to Kozlov at the Dallas line. Back to McCarty, left circle. Backhand shot blocked by Chambers. Harvey went down trying to clear. Carbonneau carrying on. Will send it the length of the ice. And as Jan Golubovsky goes back to touch up, it is icing against the Dallas Stars. And gang, it's hot ticket time again for the next 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Tickets can be had for $8.20 when the Stars take on the New York Islanders Friday, January 2nd. Call now as 8:20 a.m. WBAP helps us with this $8.20 special. 214-GO-STARS, the number to call. Operators are standing by right now.
Well, this is turning into a pretty good hockey game now. The Wings have come back with a little bit more pep in their step in the second period, and the Stars are hanging around and doing the right thing. So this is what we expected, a 1-1 low-scoring game.
Wings control the draw in the Dallas zone. Hatcher trying to clear. Shanahan spinning and firing right on. Save Belfour, and he stopped Yzerman on the rebound. Herkus putting it behind his goal. Lapointe legging after it. Hatcher pounding him to the left wing corner boards. Yzerman ducked under a hit from Herkus. Gives it to Pusher at the left point. His shot tipped wide of the goal. Shanahan after it. Centering. Picked off by the Stars, and here they come 3-on-2. Herkus leading the rush to Verbeek. Right wing. Dallas in. Pushing it to Reed in the circle. Wings are back covering now. Shanahan locks up with Verbeek, or Reed rather, who taps it behind the goal. And the Wings get it out. No icing here as Belfour will play it to Chambers. 12 and a half remaining in the second period. Reed will relay it in. Osgood will set it up for Erickson, who'll haul it behind his goal. Gives it to Murphy. Up the far glass and out to center ice. Holmstrom going after it. Muni will get there first for Dallas. Take it behind his net. Wing it up the near boards. Dandino keeping it in for Detroit. A shot. Save Belfour. Surprised him with a quick shot from the right wing boards. And the Stars will bring it out. Basson tugged on by Holmstrom. Gets to center. Throws it in. Osgood cutting it off to Erickson. Back of his goal. Steps around Airy. He and Basson now collide on Erickson in that corner. Holmstrom trying to get it out. He gives it to Dandino. He'll skate it back to center ice. A little more run and gun here as Dandino plays it deep into the Dallas zone but can't get around Ludwig. He taps it up the boards to Airy. Marshall gingerly pushes it to center ice. Erickson spins it right back in. Belfour will cut it off. Here's Ludwig again for the Stars, but his pass blocked by Kozlov to Larionov. Back to Kozlov, takes it to the high slot, gives it to Lidstrom. Throws it into the right wing corner, looking for a deflection out front. None came. Langenbrunner pushing it out to center ice.
Both teams have been pretty good with the pocket, or without the puck. It's been with the puck where they've turned it over. Both defenses seem to be spitting it up a little bit.
Lidstrom in, a shot. Belfour makes the save. He had room and uncorked it. Eddie saw it and knocked it down. Now the Wings keep it in. McCarty from the high slot. Along the left wing boards in the Dallas zone. McCarty escaping. Watched by Langenbrunner. Ludwig chipping it. It was kept in at the line by Lidstrom apparently, and the Stars will send it down. Not deep enough for icing. 10:50 to play in the second period. 1-1 the score. Dallas and Detroit. Battle between the NHL's two best teams, and the Wings are offside. Back with more in a moment on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
1-1 here in Detroit. Sean Chambers was chasing Brendan Shanahan out of the zone, so Herkus had to cover defensively, and Herkus doesn't realize that Yzerman was in behind him. And if anybody could come up with a hockey player who can see out the back of his head, he'd be a first pick overall, no questions asked. Yzerman had two good whacks at it, and Belfour stoned them both times.
That's something to work on.
Well, there's scouts all over the globe trying to find one.
Dallas still with a good shots on goal margin, Razor. 18-11 in this game, but the Wings have closed here in the second period. The 1-1 score. Play broken up at the Detroit line. It's icing against the Stars. Or offside, rather. I'm sorry.
I said I was going to talk about those defensemen, so I better do it. The European blue line invasion, if you want to call that. The reason I said it might be history, if either Zubov or Lidstrom, who are 1-2 in defenseman scoring right now in the NHL, could win the Norris Trophy as the best defenseman in the league, it would be the first time ever. No European-trained defenseman has ever won it. The closest was Börje Salming from Sweden, who was a runner-up to Larry Robinson back in 1980. Robinson now the head coach of the LA Kings. And just think about it, Matthias Olin, the young defenseman we saw in Vancouver, is a front runner for the Calder Trophy for the Rookie of the Year. So there's some good ones coming out of Sweden.
Is there any reason for that, Razor, or is it just, are they developing better defensemen in Europe? Or?
Well, it's not just Europe. A lot of people keep pointing the finger at the Canadian defensemen not being able to do what they've done in past. Ray Bourque, the only one. The young Americans have been very good too. Ryan Berard, Leach, Chelios, a lot of good ones.
Now the Stars attacking on Golubovsky, young defenseman for the Wings. A shot right on. It's loose. The Stars scramble for it, and Osgood has it on the line. Dallas charging the net. Harvey right in the middle of it. He and Carbonneau and Juha Lind up front. Matvichuk with a push as well, but it wasn't enough against Osgood.
Well, not a big argument out of the Stars as to whether the puck went over the line or not, and Carbonneau had a pretty good look at it. Osgood contorted himself completely around as Carbonneau brought it to the front of the net. They came down the right-hand side. Strong move to the net by Juha Lind, who got the initial shot on, and then Carbonneau came in and nudged and shoved and grabbed and poked. But somehow Osgood kept his blocker and his goal stick above on the good side of the goal line, is what we call it in the fraternity, and hung on to it. Osgood's been sharp in this thing. Otherwise, the Stars could be up by 4 or 5 already. Remember the start that he had this season, the first 12 games, he won 9 of them, 9-1-2. He had a goals against of 1.94. And then he went south. He had an ankle injury. He only won 1 of his next 6 and had a goals against over 3. Well, he's back on track, 9-2-3 since that stretch. And he's been brilliant. We told you off the top that he's the reigning player of the week in the NHL. A lot of goalies have picked up that award this season.
You know, going 4-0-0, surrendering a goals against average of about 1.2 and a .956 save percentage in a week, that'll do it. Spectacular stretch for us.
Season for me.
Stars got one here tonight against him. Back at the midway point of the first period. Wings have countered in the second. It's a 1-1 game. Derian Hatcher trying to get it out of his zone. Stars do get it to center ice, but Detroit covering there. Murphy at his own line. Left wing pass at center. Shanahan racing after it in the Dallas zone. Hatcher gives him a bump along the left wing boards. Lettinen shoulders Yzerman. Puck kicked back to the point. Murphy dealing it off. Eriksson a drive. That's blocked by Chambers on its way to the goal. Chambers trying to clear it ahead. He gets it to Langenbrunner, who throws it to center ice. Now Lettinen playing it in deep. Behind the Red Wing goal, Osgood. Fans on a pass that he meant to play to his left. Now cleared up that left side, and Holmstrom a right wing pass at center to Lapointe. Back come the Wings into the Dallas zone. Murphy kicking it from skate to stick. Muni playing it away. Basson hauling it ahead for the Stars. Here comes Dallas on the attack. Basson is in. Left wing side. Marshall cutting to the goal. Now he gives it to Marshall back behind the net. Tried to put it in front. Lidstrom blocked that. Good defensive play by the Detroit Red Wing defenseman, and Lidstrom will bring it out to center ice. Stick handling to the Dallas line. Taking it in left wing side. He ran into Muni. Airy picks up the puck. Throws it behind his goal, but right to Brown, who has it in the near corner. Pivots, gives it to Dandenong. Shot. It's blocked. Rebound. Punch toward the goal. And the Stars are able to clear it to the near boards. Here's another shot by Brown from the right circle. It goes back out to the left point. And Lidstrom's shot goes wide of the goal. A roughing penalty has been called. Perhaps a pair of them. We'll sort it out and come back. 1-1 on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
1-1 here in Detroit. Craig Muni back in the Stars lineup the last few games, and one of the game's better open ice hitters over his career. Had a chance to do what has happened to a couple of the Stars forwards, and that's take out some knees when he had Lidstrom all lined up along the boards, and he could have obliterated him, but he got him with the shoulder first. Good hit.
Stars now go on a power play because right after that, Razor, Holmstrom guilty of roughing at 11:51. Dallas 0 for 3 with the man advantage. A 1-1 game. Here they come. Reed behind the goal to Herkus. Kicks it up to the meshing, and Stars not given much of an opportunity to play it there. Fawcett obliges Chris Osgood with a whistle and a face-off upcoming.
I don't know if he obliged him or not. I think Osgood wanted the face-off to go outside, saying it went off of a Star, and instead it's going to stay inside as it went off of one of the Red Wings. The roughing penalty that you were speaking of, Ralph, on Holmstrom, he and Bob Airy went in the corner. Bob Airy always finishes his hits, but he had a little baggage as he came out of the corner, and then he almost had his head ripped off. Before all that, he got cross-checked by Muni, nudged more than cross-checked in front of the net and went down, and perhaps that got his dander up.
Usually the retaliation is called. It was in that case. Stars go to work on the power play again. Sador, left point. As the puck fires it toward the goal, it bounces wide. Reed coming up with it in the right corner for Dallas. Watched there by Larionov. Verbeek picking it up. He lost it to Brown, and Igor will skate it out for the Wings and tap it deep. Belfour out to play it away from Brown, and Zubov has it for the Stars. 1:10 remaining on the power play for Dallas. Herkus firing it in. It winds around to the near board side. Reed down after it. So is Sador. Behind the Red Wing net. Centers it back out to Zubov. Giving it into the circle to Herkus. Back to Zubov. Waiting. Wrist shot wide of the goal. Herkus will pick it up along the right wing boards. Back out to the right point. Now gives it to Sador. Now to Verbeek in the circle. Slap shot. Save Osgood. Rebound. Unfortunately bounces right to Maltby, who clears it.
This is about a 5 games worth of good scoring chances, and I mean good scoring chances against the Wings. They don't give up this many. Stars are producing some good ones.
Half a minute left on this power play to produce some more. Lettinen will wind it in. Langenbrunner in the right corner, watched by Eriksson. Gives it to Hatcher, back out to the right point. Zubov has some room, steps to his left, gives it to Chambers. Back to Zubov, right point. Back to Chambers, high slot. He bobbled it for a minute. Plays it along the near boards to Lettinen. Now in the left wing corner, gives it to Langenbrunner along the near wing. Now to Lettinen, pokes it in front, and Hatcher can't reach it. Zubov in the right corner. In front for Langenbrunner and Lettinen, and Yzerman's able to get there and clear it into the seats just as the penalty to Holmstrom expired.
Well, real good penalty killing by both Gilchrist and Yzerman, and it's like standing a mirror up to these two teams, because that's usually what happens with Lettman and Carbonell at the other end, filling lanes, making sure passes don't get through, making sure people don't get their sticks on it. A nice play down low along the goal line in front to Hatcher, and Hatcher couldn't get his stick on it. And then afterwards, they fed it out in front again, and there was Stevie Y, as they call him around here, to pitch it into the stands and out of play. Yzerman's been a killer career-wise against the Dallas Stars. He's not in a point mode right now as he kills the penalty, but in 95 career games, 123 of his 1,374 points he's picked up against the Stars.
Loves to play against Dallas. The old days against Minnesota. Always has produced. If he could get an assist tonight, Razor, it would tie him with, or move him past, rather, Alex Delvecchio for number 2 all-time on the Red Wing assist list. Here comes Lind in the Detroit zone. Red Wings bust up the play. McCarty comes forward with it to the Dallas line, throws it in left wing side. Carbonell lost his stick, had to go back into the Red Wing zone to retrieve it. He's hanging around center ice. Now Lind will pick it up, start the charge back to center for the Stars, fire it in right corner. Harvey taking it behind the net to Lind, a shot, and it's off the traffic in front. Neatly set up, and back come the Wings the other way. Larionov at center, ran into Chambers. Lost the puck. Picked up by Golubovsky, now into the Dallas zone. It's broken up at the line. Bassett will skate it the other way. He's alone, by himself, into the Red Wing zone, cutting to the goal! And it's poked away by Osgood. And McCarty will spill it to center ice once more to Kozlov. Can't get around Matvichuk at the Dallas line. Zubov picks it up inside his own line. Head to Airy at center. He'll play it in deep. Marshall going after it. The left corner. Ducked a hit from LaPointe. Members of both teams battle for it in the corner off to Osgood's right. Picked up by Marshall again for the Stars. Watched by Yzerman. Deals it into the corner once more. Golubovsky has Bassin all wrapped up. Stars go after the puck as the Red Wings attempt to clear. Matvichuk holding it in at the left point, but it's again Matvichuk doing his best to keep it in, and then finally it is cleared, and Kozlov on his way into the Dallas zone. Again, Zubov! He got around him and fired it off the post. Yzerman puts it back toward the goal. Zubov will pick it up there for the Stars.
Well, if there's a guy who can match Zubov's lateral mobility, it's probably Kozlov. He showed it there. Flashes of brilliance as he brought it to the left-hand side and tickled the outside of the goalpost.
Little over 4 minutes remaining in the second period. 1-1 the score between the Stars and the Wings. The battle for first place outright in the National Hockey League at the midway point of the season. Detroit firing it in. Belfour cutting it off for Muni, back of his goal. He'll leave it for Ludwig. Not a Sador along the near boards. Pop it out to center. Gilchrist picks it up, but had to wait for one of his teammates to clear it. Was Kosar.
The Stars are exiting their zone the way they want to. Lots of D reverses. They go one way, pitch it back the other way, and then get out over the blue line because of all the pressure on one side of the ice from the Wings in their system.
Now Detroit plays it deep into the Dallas zone again. No icing here. Ludwig back to the puck. He'll spin it up the near side to Sador. Drops it to Langenbutter. Jamie firing it in. Off to Osgood's right. It bounces behind the Red Wing goal. Dallas will get a change here. And Erickson will carry it out for the Wings. Left wing pass at center. Now Holmstrom into the Dallas zone. Into the slot for Gandino. Tied up by Reed. He went down. Hatcher picking it up for the Stars. Ahead to Herkus. Kept in by Murphy at the right point as the Stars tried to clear. In front. All alone for the Detroit Red Wings was Gandino, and he couldn't reach the puck. Stars bring it to center. Verbeek fires it in. Osgood ripping it up the boards to his left. Stars battling to hold the zone. Hatcher in the high slot. Slap shot. Blocked by Dandino. And the Wings clear it out of there to center ice. Now one of the Detroit players is tugged down. And there's the penalty. Dandino is shot. Go for the save. Delayed call against the Stars. The Wings are going on their fourth power play of the hockey game when we continue on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
A low-scoring, tugging affair here in Detroit, and it was because Dave Reed was tugging on Holmstrom in the neutral zone instead of skating that he picked up his first 2 minutes in the box this season. So he didn't get through the year. He didn't get into 98, but he went a long time. So there goes that stat. Thank God we got that one out in the first period. Stars need a big penalty kill here right now. These two teams are like a couple of neglected end tables. They don't have any finish to them right now. Lots of chances. at both ends. The goalies have been good, but there have been some wide open nets that have been missed.
Stars are 0 for 4 on the power play. The Red Wings are on their fourth. They're 0 for 3. 1-1 the score. 2.5 to play in the second period. A goal here by Detroit would be huge. Here's Larionov at center ice. Now to Lidstrom. He'll bring it in, feed it to his left, and then get it back from McCarty. Stick handling to Yzerman in the slot. Wrist shot, save Belfour. Rebound, Shanahan. And he's got it.
If he get it.
He didn't know where it was, and he hung on to it.
Well, Brendan Shanahan can lurk with the best of them, and he admits it. He learned it from Brett Hall with the St. Louis Blues. And he comes to the front of the net, and then he just stands there and lurks. The stick is in a good shooting position. He waits around, and then bang, it's off his stick in a hurry. And somehow, Eddie Belfour got his mitt down and kept it out. Shanahan leads the NHL in power play goals with 9, along with Shane Corson, who will be his teammate over in Nagano on Team Canada. But he has only 1 power play goal in the last 11 games. Teams key on him, and he's a pure shooter. There's no question. He only has 1 assist on the power play and 9 goals.
Also has 5 game-winning goals, so he scores huge goals for Detroit. That would have been a huge goal. Here's Yzerman to Lidstrom. A shot. It bounces wide to Belfour's right. Ludwig playing it ahead to Bassett. Here come the shorthanded Stars ahead at center ice. Lettinen reaching to pick it up, and it's a 2-line pass called against Dallas.
More of those good chances all over the ice. You know, guys like, you have to think in a game like this, and I know we talked about this before the game. Whatever it is that you do well in a game of this magnitude, and I know it's only game 40 of the season, do what you do well in this game. And you've seen that on both sides. If you're a good penalty killer like Guy Carbonneau, then kill penalties and do a great job at it. He's done that so far. The goaltenders have done their job. Center icemen have won big draws when they've had to. People who bang have banged. Defensemen have gotten pucks out. It's been a good game.
Wings fight for the Dallas zone, but the Stars stronger to the puck, and Matvichuk lifts it all the way down. 1:10 remaining in Dave Reed's minor. 1:45 left in the second period. Detroit 1, Dallas 1. Here comes Larionov. Drop pass to Yzerman into the Dallas zone. Feeding back to his left to Larionov. Back to Shanahan. Fires wide of the goal. Larionov can't find the puck in his skates behind the goal. McCarty in to dig it out. So is Yzerman working against Matvichuk and Hatcher. Matvichuk twisting Yzerman into the corner. Larionov in front for Lidstrom. Kicks it to his stick, but he couldn't unleash the shot. Wings operating again. Yzerman plays it across. Off a skate, it goes to Shanahan. Now to Lidstrom along the near board. Half a minute left on the power play for the Wings. Larionov with time behind the goal. Gives it to Lidstrom into the high slot to Shanahan. He fell. And the puck comes out in front of the Dallas bench. They'll turn it back again, but McCarty can't handle the pass at the Dallas line. Reed's all over him, or Matvichuk rather all over him. Reed with just 10 seconds left in his penalty. Stars trying to clear it in the period's final minute, and Lettinen's able to get it out. Now after it in the Detroit zone. The Stars in, Lettinen a shot, save Osgood. Carbonneau behind the goal, working against Gilchrist. Reed is on, and Dallas has killed off the 4th Red Wing power play of the game. Each club now Razor 0 for 4.
Well, the penalty killers obviously have been the better of the 2 special teams in this game.
Gilchrist in to pick up a puck in the Dallas zone. No icing against the Wings, but the Stars are able to clear. 20 seconds left in the period. Murphy across to Kozlov, who took a hit from Langenbrunner. Bounced it to Belfour, who gives to Ludwig. He'll take a look and chip it out to center ice. Murphy with it there. Sliding it across. Eriksson gunning it well wide. Lapointe from the near boards, putting it around to the other side, and that'll do it. The Stars had the only goal of the first period. Bob Airey, his 2nd of the season. And Vyacheslav Kozlov scored his 12th. The only goal of the period as Detroit has it tied up at 1, Razor, as we head to the 3rd, and what a fine contest this is turning out to be.
And the one thing that's really been on the side of the Stars has been their ability to just muster up enough strength and enough tenacity on the puck to get past people. Lettinen on Eriksson at the blue line, and I know Finland beat Sweden in the World Junior Tournament the other day. Well, the Finn beat the Swede around the corner and then somehow got it to his forehand. Good block by his right knee to get some room for himself, but Osgood had an answer for that one too. This game has been great.
We have an exciting third period for you coming up. Also more to celebrate between periods when we continue on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network. Two best teams of the NHL putting on quite a show through two periods here tonight at the Joe. The Dallas Stars and the Detroit Red Wings are tied at 1. Welcome back to Dallas Stars Hockey. I'm Ralph Strangis, and tonight's Nations Bank check of the game. The Stars skipper, Captain Derian Hatcher, lining up Kirk Maltby. This will be a thundering hit as Hatcher comes in and kaboom along the end boards. That's tonight's Nations Bank check of the game. The old Whataburger, what a shot. We take you back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Stevie Y, the captain of the Detroit Red Wings against the Philadelphia Flyers, and Yzerman. Oh, what a shot. I can't believe it. And that is tonight's Whataburger, what a shot. Later they would celebrate Detroit's Stanley Cup victory. And folks, tonight we want to talk to you a little bit about what is coming up for the Dallas Stars. We've got some terrific stuff for you. Family first. It's one of your New Year's resolutions, perhaps, to do more with your family. And here's great news for you. The Dallas Stars have teamed up with Project 8 Family First sponsors to offer your family regularly priced $19.50 terrace level tickets for only $8. That's less than half price. Call 214-GO-STARS for more information. And kids, you can get lots of free stuff and perhaps tickets to a Dallas Stars game and maybe even a ride on the Zamboni if you're a member of the Tom Thumb Junior Stars. Call 214-GO-STARS or stop by any Tom Thumb to register. It is a 1-1 score here at the Joe, and we'll come back and have more on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
First place on the line here at the Joe tonight, and nothing has been decided through 40 minutes. The Dallas Stars and the Detroit Red Wings are deadlocked at 1 apiece. Welcome back to Detroit. Darrell Ray upstairs in our cubbyhole here at the Joe Louis Arena. Time once again to check out the Miller Lite Open Net. Very fitting question coming from Coppell tonight from Katie Ketterer. She asked us, why is the Stanley Cup called the Stanley Cup? And just who the heck is this Stanley guy? Well, if you want to know, it's Lord Stanley, the Governor General of Canada, March 18th, 1892. And he had this to say when he came up with the idea of the cup: there does not appear to be any such outward sign of a championship at present. And considering the general interest in which matches now elicit, the importance of having the game played fairly and under rules generally recognized, I am willing to give a cup which shall be held from year to year by the winning team. The first cup, it wasn't a big one, not like you see nowadays, was doled out back in 1893 to the Montreal AAAs. Any Canadian hockey team was then allowed to challenge for that little silver cup. It looks a lot different nowadays, as it's a cavalcade of names and silver that pours down off that little bowl at the top, and everybody plays for it, the holy grail of the National Hockey League. Thanks a lot for the question, Katie. Remember, if you want to get involved with this thing, all you have to do is dial up the Stars website at www.dallasstars.com, go to the Miller Lite icon, and then send us your question. We're going to answer one of these every night. Good question tonight. We look forward to hearing from you. Look forward to what should be a tremendous third period here in Hockeytown. The Stars and the Wings deadlocked at 1 on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
Dallas Stars won. The Detroit Red Wings won. Bob Airey got things going early on for Dallas. His second goal of the season. Kozlov came back for the Red Wings to tie the game at 1 after 40 minutes of hockey. Hello, everyone. Kevin Eschenfelder back with you here in the clubhouse. Quick check of what's going on tonight in the NHL before we send you back to Joe Louis Arena. And for that, we start with the Blues beginning life after Brett Hull, and life's not going too good right now. Adam Oates, 18:50 of the first period, and the Washington Capitals already on top in this one, 4-1. They lead it now in the third, 4-2. Caps with 4 first-period goals. That was the 9th of the season for Adam Oates, as, of course, you probably know the story by now. Brett Hull out 4 to 6 weeks with that broken hand. Elsewhere tonight, Devils on top of the Sabres. Dominik Hasek had 3 shutouts in his last 4 games, make it in his last 5 because New Jersey has lit the lamp 3 times tonight in this one. New Jersey has won both of the previous meetings between these two teams. Steve Thomas, his 6th of the year. Mike Pekka, a power play goal in this one. The Islanders taking on the Pens as the Isles trying to snap their first 4-game losing streak of the season. Doesn't look like it's going to happen because the Pittsburgh Penguins 3 goals better. They lead it 4-1 in the 3rd period of play. Sharks taking on the Lightning tonight. And right now it is a 1-1 hockey game, 2nd intermission. Canadiens and Avalanche, they are scoreless early on. We'll take a break and take you back to Detroit in a moment.
The Dallas Stars had the only goal of the first period. Bob Airey, 2nd of the year from Verbeek and Herkus at even strength. At the 10:20 mark, had Dallas in front 1-0 after 1. Razor in the 2nd period, the Detroit Red Wings got the only goal.
And it was Kozlov, and it came off a little miscommunication and also a little misfortune for the Stars. Sergei Zubov in front of the net took Larionov in behind and took him out, and it opened up some space for Kozlov off to the left of Eddie Belfour, and Zubov couldn't adjust in time, and neither could Belfour. Tie hockey game at 1.
Kozlov's 12th of the season at .237 from McCarty and Larionov, a 1-1 game, and then Kozlov got busy again.
Well, a little bit of a turnover in the neutral zone, kind of a misplay. Bob Airey had to go between his legs, looked like Bill Buckner, and then off went the Wings. And wow, could Kozlov dish and move and shift, and he rattled it off the post down low to the glove hand side on Belfour. The best chance they had to go ahead came on the power play late, and Brendan Shanahan had to blink twice and realize that Eddie Belfour had stuck out his paw and took away a goal. He's seen him do that before, and he saw him do it again in that 2nd period.
Brendan Shanahan couldn't believe it. Razor, the numbers after 2 periods.
Well, pretty tight hockey game. The Wings came back a little bit in the shots on goal department, or the Stars dropped down. 22-14 now in favor of Dallas. 13-10 scoring chances, so that's really evened out after the first period. The face-offs have been almost even, 23-26 for Detroit, so they have the slight edge. And nothing happening on the power plays. Both teams are 0 for 4. The penalty-killing units have been good, and the goaltenders have been great. Well, no defensemen have scored in this hockey game as far as points. The guys were featuring anyway, but they've been on the ice a lot. Zubov for 16.5 minutes, Hatcher for 17. And on the other side of things, Nick Lidstrom for almost 19 minutes of the first 40, and Murphy 14, almost 15 minutes as well.
Well, the 2 best teams in the NHL are tied 1-1 as we head to the 3rd period. And it's been a very entertaining game. Goaltending has been terrific. There's been some great scoring opportunities. Each team has had 4 power plays. Neither has scored with the man advantage. Lidstrom will go after a puck in his own zone as we are just into the 3rd period. Wide it to the far side. Sadar picking it up, and his shot from the left wing was tipped wide of the goal by Lettman. On the near boards in the Red Wing zone, Lettman spinning it off the boards right to Osgood, and he covers it as Sador was crashing down on top of him.
Well, Chris Osgood became one of the youngest goaltenders ever to win 100 games. When he won them, he picked that up, I think, the first game of the year when he beat Calgary. He won his 100th game. The only guys close, Tommy Barrasso with 22 at age 22 won his 100th, and Fuhr and Waugh, both at age 23, won their 100th. He's been solid for these guys ever since he stepped in, and he has the best winning percentage of any goaltender who's played 100 games in this league at over 70%, almost 72%. Martin Brodeur, the only guy close at 63. The only guy close in history, the only guy ahead of him in history is Ken Dryden, who's a Hall of Famer.
And this year, Razor, there will be no question, I assume, about who will be #1 in the postseason.
Well, he talked about that at the beginning of the year, too. Don't call me 1A, 1B, the guy, the prospect, the up-and-comer. Just let me play and prove what I can do.
And he has been playing and certainly proving what he can do. Puck's in his zone. Yzerman scrapping with Lind for it. Now Eriksson dishing it behind his goal to Murphy. Stars very aggressive here, but the Wings are able to get it out. Here's Shanahan at center. Stick handling, feeding to his right to Murphy. That pass picked off. Eriksson, following the play, is able to get it in. Belfour gives it to Zubov. 18:50 remaining in the 3rd period. 1-1 the score. Here's Zubov, carefully picking his way out of his own zone. Into the middle to Harvey. Takes the spin, fires it in. Off to Osgood's right. Murphy batting it away from an on-charging Dave Reed. Eriksson Erickson getting it out. Picked up by Verbeek. He'll turn it right back in. Drops it to Herkus. Right circle. A shot. Osgood got his pad on it. Reed couldn't get to the rebound. Kozlov quickly ahead to center. Down to the Dallas line. Working against Ludwig. Can't get around him. And back to pick up the puck, Tony Herkus. Trying to get it out. Larionov doing a nifty job to keep it in at the line, and then Herkus finally able to clear it out in front of the Red Wing bench.
Been a good line for Hitchcock tonight. Herkus has played great. Verbeek has been feisty, and Dave Reed has had a number of good scoring chances.
Now here come the Wings in on the attack. Kozlov shot blockered away by Belfour. And Herkus back again to pick it up for the Stars. He'll backhand it out. Verbeek smacking it up the near boards to center. Pusher getting it to the Dallas line. Ludwig off Airy deep into the Detroit zone. Pusher first man to the puck for the Wings. 17:40 to play in the third. 1-1 the score, and in front of the Red Wing bench, the puck is knocked into that area. And so a faceoff will come, I think, back in the Detroit zone.
Well, the Stars have gotten the puck past the kitty bar of the door defense of the Wings. They usually have a winger back and their two defensemen, and it's tough to get it in and then get past them and get on the puck, but they've done that. Tony Herkus has played great for Dallas since coming up from Kalamazoo in the American Hockey League. He knew he had Reed going to the far side, but instead of getting the pass through, I think it hit the stick of Murphy, the defenseman coming back, and then hit the pad, the right pad of Osgood, and he made the save. Herkus with 3 goals and 2 assists in the 9 games with Dallas. He's filled in marvelously, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, he has. Got 200 NHL points in about 350 NHL games. The Stars knew what kind of a player they had. He spent time in Kalamazoo. Now a shot Belfour was having to deal with at his own line, cleared by the Stars. Red Wings coming right back in. Dandino trying to split the Dallas defense. Marshall pushing it ahead at center ice in front of the Stars bench. Marshall getting to the puck and then pushing it deep into the Red Wing zone.
Lots of changes for Dallas here early in the third period to try to outchange the Wings and get the energy level and keep the energy level up.
At center ice, Langenbrunner picking it off. Good pass to Sador. He's in, left circle, wrist shot off. Good to save, Lettinen the rebound. He punched it just wide. Langenbrunner picking it up. He can't hold it in. Lettinen does. Putting it back of the goal. Osgood getting there ahead of Sador. It gives him a bit of a push. Fans wanted a penalty. None coming from Fawcett. Out at center ice, Matvichuk with it. He'll fire it in. No, it went off Lettinen. Comes right back to Matvichuk, who drills it back in once more. Works its way to the far side. Sador kicking it to Langenbrunner in the corner. Jamie centering, but it's blocked by Koser. He's able to get it out to center once more.
They just keep telling Detroit to open their mouth and keep ramming it back down there again. The first few minutes of this third period have been just dump-ins and then go get it.
Now the Stars have gone and gotten it. Here's Lind at center. A right wing pass to Harvey. Would have been a 2-on-1 with he and Carbonneau, but it was broken up at the Red Wing line. Maltby taking it to safety behind his goal, gives it to Pusher. Watched by Harvey, advances it up the near boards to Gilchrist. Lost at center as Carbonneau picks it off and sends it right back in.
Yeah, just keep pushing it ahead and then get in there on the forecheck. They've established a forecheck since minute 1 in this game.
Well, the Stars wanted their air-checking game out on the ice, Razor, and I think they've gotten it tonight. Zubov holding it in at the line. Lind, a shot just wide of the post. Carbonneau throwing it off the side of the net. Osgood has it there. The Stars had an opportunity against Chris Osgood, but Osgood held the fort.
Tie game third period. Stars have had 4 good scoring chances here in the last couple of minutes. Both the defensemen for the Wings, Golubovsky and Pusher, were standing still. And right between the wickets came Juha Lind, his best scoring chance in the NHL, and he whistled it wide.
24 shots for the Stars, 16 for the Wings. That one did not count for Juha Lind as it went just wide of the post to Osgood's right. They are now effecting a repair at that spot.
He ruined that spot. He let it fly. He has that good quick release. Osgood looked like had that low corner covered.
Face off to Osgood's right. Langenbrunner against Yzerman. Yzerman controls the draw to Erickson, who takes it behind his goal. Chased out of there by Tony Herkus. Erickson feeding up left wing at center to Shanahan. Escaping a check from Langenbrunner, getting it in deep. It bounces in front of the Dallas goal. Ludwig got there to poke it away, and Verbeek sends it out to center ice. Now deep into the Red Wing end. No icing here. Murphy back to pick it up for Detroit. Hit by Herkus as he gives to Erickson back of his goal. Wings bring it out. Right wing pass to Murphy at center. He'll one-handed in deep, and Detroit will finish a change. Stars trying to get it out. Reed was toppled. Shanahan's pass blocked, and up comes Verbeek ahead to Herkus at center. He'll spin it in. Dallas wants a change. 14:47 to play in the third. 1-1 the score. Stars in the wings. Battle for first overall. Kozlov pokes it in. Hatcher will take it right back out. Here comes Big Darian to center. Watched by LaPointe. Gets it in. Right wing corner. Osgood playing it up the boards to his left. Kozlov missed it. Marshall goes in after him. Those two battle for it. Kozlov trying to clear. Hatcher keeping it in. Wrist shot right into the glove. And Osgood holds it.
Well, Big Darian Hatcher's having himself another monster game tonight against the Wings. He's played an awful lot. We already told you that. He's been constructive out there too. Some big hits. He's manufactured some plays for other people. He shot the puck well. He's looked like a big rookie out there at times, because some of these forwards for the Red Wings are on the diminutive side, and he's not by any stretch of the imagination at 6'5". And he just kind of towers over people like Larionov, who's out there now.
Said just as he was walking into the building tonight, Razor, he loves to play here.
Yeah, well, it's hometown, and a lot of guys are like that. You know, you hear from the boys who are from Toronto, it's the same thing. There aren't that many guys from U.S. cities around the league. This is kind of a hotbed for American hockey up in this stretch of the map. They have a junior team. We were talking about the Canadian junior team earlier, and Jamie Langenbrunner played for the U.S. World Junior entry a few years back, that trains up here, and they patterned it after the U.S. or after the Canadian team. And in the future, the U.S. is going to be a tough team to deal with, as they have their bright young players all trained year-round. 17 and under, 18 and under, and now 19 and under. I hear they're going to start next year. Jeff Jackson does a tremendous job with them.
At center ice, the Stars keep it ahead to Langenbrunner. Lettman brought it in. They say it's onside. I can't believe it is, but it is. Now behind the Red Wing goal, Rouse has Sador all jammed up. Langenbrunner reaching in, taking it across. A shot, whipped it from the far side. Here's Chambers blasting away, well wide. Hatcher slap shot, didn't get much on it. It's behind the goal. Sador taking it to the far corner. Tried to get it to Lettman. Off a skate. LaPointe will deal it out to Kozlov at center. Here come the Wings. Kozlov busted up at the Dallas line. The Stars return it to Langenbrunner at the Red Wing line. Kozlov came back to take it away. Langenbrunner recovers the puck, sends it deep, but Dallas is changing.
The Stars have been proactive here in the third period. The Wings have kind of tried to counterpunch.
Now Zubov with a steal. He's in. Tried a centering pass. Now gathers it back again. Puts it behind the goal. Harvey going after it there. Stars reaching for the puck. Lind was looking after it. Zubov will hold it in, but then lost it to Gilchrist. Tried to pass it ahead to Kosar off Carbonneau. It forces Kosar to go back spinning with it in his own zone. Now ahead to Gilchrist. He'll walk it to the Dallas line, then fire it in. Belfour missed the cutoff. It comes to the near boards in the Dallas zone. Kosar pushed by Zubov, who's then hit by Maltby, but he got it out.
Every time the puck comes in the Star zone, the first thought process is get it out over our own blue line, and every time they get to the Wing blue line, it's get it deep and go after it.
Now the Wings play it too deep. Icing against Detroit. We'll come back in a minute. 1-1 the score on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network. Another sellout crowd, Razor, at the Joe.
Good crowd. They like their hockey here. They call it Hockey Town. They better like their hockey in Hockey Town. The Stars haven't liked it very much in past. They're 1-9-1 in the last 11. Only one winning season here in Detroit in the last 13 campaigns, and that was in 85-86. They won 3 and lost 1. The Wings were pathetic that year. They only had 17 wins, 57 losses. That was the year they played under both Harry Neal and Brad Park, and it prompted Harry Neal to say, we can't win at home, on the road. My failure is I can't find anywhere else for us to play.
They have since turned things around.
Haven't they, though?
1-1 the score here in the third period. 12:37 to play. A puck up into the Red Wing bench again, and boy, hasn't Scotty Bowman done a job. There was speculation, Razor, that even after a cup win, he may not be back, but he is back.
Oh, he's back big time. He loves the game, and he's eccentric at times. He's brilliant. The guys that get traded here, and Brent Gilchrist told us after the last time we were in here, the guy's amazing. He's a computer. His mind's like a computer. He knows the game as good as anybody, and he's won more games than anybody ever will.
Tonight, He and his club in a battle with the Stars for first overall. Wings will get it out. Left wing pass at center, Shanahan. Right wing pass deep into the Dallas zone. Belfour out to play it up the boards to Reed. He's hammered. Run over from behind. Why isn't that a penalty? McCarty came after him from behind, jammed him into the boards. No call from Fawcett. Reed from center will play it in deep. Osgood helping it to the boards to his left. McCarty there. Basson took a bit of a passive run at him. Got him with the shoulder. Airy will bounce it in from center, and Osgood backing in, played it like a good shortstop and made sure it didn't get behind him.
That's what broke open the game the other night in Toronto. Brendan Shanahan drifted one from center ice and beat Potvin, and then they scored 8 in a row after that one. Huge hit by McCarty, and it looked like a dirty hit initially as Reed had just gotten rid of the puck, had his back to him. He kind of had half body there. He went into the boards though. That's so dangerous. That's how Chris Draper, who's injured again, not because of the face, but that's how he got injured when Claude Lemieux pummeled him along the boards, and Reed got up after that one.
Face-off in the Detroit zone, controlled by the wings. Brown ran into Airy. Detroit's able to get it out. Holmstrom taking it down at center ice. Pushing it back to Pusher in his own zone. Watched by Marshall. Plays it across. Golubovsky, a left wing pass to Holmstrom from inside his own line. Is a two-line play. And so the whistle and a face-off back in the Detroit zone.
Well, Ken Hitchcock will coach the World All-Stars, and they announced the starters for the World team today. So Hitchcock knows who will be on the ice when they drop the puck. They may never come off the way these guys play in All-Star games, but Slava Fetisov, isn't that nice? He was voted by the fans as the starting defenseman along with Sandis Ozolinsh of Colorado. No question, Hasek of Buffalo was going to be the goalie. Yager, who's injured again for Pittsburgh, is the forward. He missed last year's game with an injury. Forsberg, the center iceman from Colorado, and Teemu Solani, the other winger from Anaheim. 5 different countries, 6 players.
That is a formidable first unit.
I don't know if I'd want him to come off the ice.
No.
Go ahead.
Wings now going after a puck in the Dallas zone. Zubov gets there, though, playing it up the far side. Sidor trying to get it past Rouse. He does push it ahead. Now Lettinen will pick it up at center, dump it in. Osgood well out of his goal. Play it behind his net to Lidstrom. He's hammered by Sidor. Lettinen throws it behind the goal again. Gilchrist pushes it up the far side. Sidor swats at it to keep it in. And Osgood once more, dealing it to the near boards to Maltby. Into the middle of the ice to Gilchrist. Here come the Wings. 2-on-2 at the Dallas line. Across, a shot right on. And Belfour turned that drive aside. It came off Joey Kocur's stick. Now the Stars will play with it. Here's Matvichuk. To Zubov at center. He threw it in. Lidstrom to Maltby. Has time along the near boards. Using the boards. He gets it up into the air and into the Dallas zone. Zubov spinning away from Dandino. Clears to center ice. 10.5 minutes to play in the third period. Stars 1, Red Wings 1. Detroit brings it in. Murphy sliding it across and off a stick. It goes into the seats and out of play. And Razor, the Stars haven't allowed much here at all in the third period.
They haven't allowed anything. There hasn't been one good scoring chance. The puck hasn't been in their zone very often. The last puck that he stopped was from the wing, and he saw it all the way. Gilchrist moved it to Joey Kocur on the right side, and Belfour, if he sees it, he stops it. Most goalies in this league will from that range, and he did that time. So Eddie Belfour was allowed now 9 goals in his last 8 road games. He's been good. Yeah, away from home, and 3 of those came in the first 10 minutes in this building a long time ago.
He has been spectacular. Now here's Verbeek wrestling with Erickson. Left wing corner. Those two at it again. The Detroit zone. Red Wings clear it ahead to their line. Holmstrom will take it to center ice. Throw it in. Right corner in the Dallas zone. It bounces behind the net. Belfour there to play it. He held it a bit too long, but got away with it. And the Stars surge ahead. Here's Reed from center. Right on, and Osgood will make the save. A long lifted shot right into the glove.
Well, where Dallas has made this a tough game for Detroit is especially on the Detroit defense. It's been a long night for the guys back there for Detroit who like to handle the puck and like to have a little bit of time. They haven't had much time at all, and every time they've gotten it out of the zone, that it's been rifled right back in again, and they have to go back and get it, and they've been bumped a lot. So Lidstrom, Rouse, Erickson, and Murphy, who played most of the night, they've gone primarily with just 4D, and sometimes we've seen Pusher out there as well. Have had a long one.
Stars win the draw. Darian Hatcher to the slot, working to the left circle, a shot, it's tipped wide. Darian created room for himself, and now it's swatted up the near boards and down the ice by Kozlov. Icing coming up against the Detroit Red Wings.
Geez, I wonder if that was going to go over the glass.
I thought it might.
You know, if a goalie fires it over the glass, it's delay a game, and it's a penalty, and Osgood got a lot of lift on that puck. He grabbed it. Hatcher with some meandering in the high slot, and then the shot went off a Pusher, the defenseman in front. And when they grabbed onto it and got it out, Osgood just lifted it up the left wing wall, and then it was swatted out of midair with it. It looked like a high stick. If it goes over the glass on the side, it's a penalty. So an intelligent play, although the faceoff does come back down in Detroit's zone.
To Osgood's left. Basson to work the draw against Yzerman. Wins another faceoff. The Red Wings are able to clear it ahead. Yzerman picking it up. Ahead to Shanahan. He's in. Backhand shot. Belfour got enough of it to steer it wide. Hatcher ahead and out to center ice.
That went through Belfour and out the right side of the net if you're Eddie Belfour.
Now Pusher pounds it right back in. Stars pick it up. Basson playing it up the near boards. Pusher holding it at the point, and then Dallas able to push it out as Marshall got it to the Detroit line. Yzerman into the middle for McCarty, who has to come back for it. He'll turn and throw it in left wing side. Chambers took a bump from Yzerman. Got it to Hatcher. Crowd starting to chant, "Let's go Wings." At center ice, Lidstrom to Kozlov. Which team will crack first here? That's what it's all about. Kozlov stick handling in, and a good play by Lettman.
That's what they do all the time. They front and rear people. The defenseman fronts them, and the forward comes back and rears them.
Zubov plays it in at the other side, and that one's knocked right back out to center ice. Daryl Sydor to Sergei Zubov. He'll throw it deep. Osgood back behind his goal. Now dealing it up the near boards, and it's chopped, but not out. Sydor doing a good job to keep it in, backing up Zubov at the right point. Langenbrunner in front to Sydor, and it's knocked away as the Detroit Red Wings had two people in position. Lidstrom will carry it ahead, but he ran into Zubov, who broke it up at the Dallas line.
Stars have to be conscious, I would think, of Lidstrom and Murphy and those people jumping up in the rush now. They've done a nice job all game long in negating that, but it only takes one chance in this game.
Now the Stars have it behind their goal. Matt Tkachuk to Zubov. Now to Carbonneau rather at center ice. To Harvey. Tried to get around Murphy, but the Wings clear it the other way. Maltby in with speed. Fake the shot. Now cut to the slot. Stars busted up. Carbonneau clears it. They don't give him much. Harvey going the other way. Stick handling in around Gilchrist. Along the near boards leads for Carbonneau. Now to Harvey in the circle. Lin to Harvey, a shot, he fanned on it. Gilchrist blocks it, and the Wings clear it out.
His stick spaghettied on him. It betrayed him on that one-timer from the high slot, and then it just dribbled wide of the net.
Back out at center again. Ludwig in front of his own bench. Has plenty of time as both teams are changing. He gives it to Muni. Into the middle to Reed. Feeding to his right to Verbeek. Knocked away from him by Pusher to Brown. Now here come the Wings the other way. Dandino is in. Left wing. Tries to cut around Muni. He can't. Puck goes to the far side, and Reed will clear it all the way down, but no icing here. Osgood picking it up. Almost lost it behind his net. Pusher has it there. Reed picking it up along the far boards. Back out to Hatcher at the left point. A wrist shot weak and blocked in the slot. Holmstrom carrying it out at center. Now to the Dallas line. Cutting to his right. Ran into a pile. Brown's in to Dandino. Go for the save and score! Doggone it!
Well, this is a game of not what you're doing, but what you give up. And they gave up a glorious scoring chance because of a miscue amongst some people at both ends. A bunch of people got caught in the high slot and then had to chase back. And then three players converged. Herkus and both defensemen, Chambers and Hatcher, all got caught up, and it was a 2-on-0, and Brown fed it across, and Belfour made a larcenous initial save, but nobody picked up Thomas Holmstrom, and he popped home the rebound to give the Wings a 2-1 lead.
Poor
Lidstrom's a young crash and bang guy, and that's a huge goal for his club here.
That's his 4th of the season. 1 of his previous 3 has been a game winner. This one gives his Wings the lead, 2-1 with 6:15 to play in the 3rd. Matvichuk getting it ahead at center. Off Marshall's stick, deep into the Red Wing zone. Zubov picks it off in front. A shot. Marshall is stand by Osgood. Get out of town. Chris Osgood keeping it. A 2-1 lead on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network. The Detroit Red Wings 2, the Dallas Stars 1. 6 minutes to play in the 3rd. Face off to Osgood's right. Yzerman and Langenbrunner. And the Wings control. Lidstrom will take it out to his own line, pick his way to the center red stripe, and then bounce it in. Right corner. McCarty after it there. Shoulders with Matvichuk. Back out to the right point to Rouse. A slap shot. Knocked down by the traffic in front. So is Shanahan as Langenbrunner crashes into the ice. Back come the Stars the other way. Zubov leading the charge to Letton, and a bomb kicked away by Osgood into the far corner. Sador watch. Langenbrunner picks it up. Now stick handling in the left circle. In front for Sador. Here's Zubov following up. A shot. He scores! They got a break. Somehow it got through Chris Osgood, and the Stars have tied the game.
Well, that's justice for the game that Sergei Zubov has played here tonight. He was the guy that set up Marshall mano-a-mano in front of Osgood before we went to break, and Osgood bettered him on that one. On the last one, Osgood never got himself square to the shot. He seemed to be cheating a little bit and pulled away from his post. And Sergei Zubov can paint the corner, and I think he did that on that one as it squeaked under the glove hand and the armpit of Osgood. Zubov, who only had 3 goals on the road all of last year, picked up a huge game winner when we were in Edmonton, his 5th goal of the season. That was his 3rd on the road. Well, this is his 4th on the road this season, and he's been dynamite tonight.
6th goal of the year for Sergei Zubov at 14:38. We're tied again at 2. Puck drifts into the Detroit zone. Eriksson picking it up. Chased out by Carbonneau. Gilchrist tapping it to the Dallas line. Muni has it for the Stars. Now to Reed. Floats one right wing side. Going after it for Beek in the right corner. Centers for Carbonneau. Ran into the goal, and Osgood. Murphy was there as well. Osgood shaken on the play. We'll keep an eye on Chris Osgood. And when we come back, the final 4:56 of the 3rd period in a 2-2 game for first overall on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.